Hello all, welcome back to the next session. So in the previous session, we have seen how to download the Java software and how to install it. So in today's session, we'll be learning about how to set the path, how to compile the code and how to execute the code. And so the first thing, what is the purpose of setting the path? Why do we need Why do we need to set the path? So why? Because we are not downloading any IDEs. If you're working upon any of the IDEs like NetBeans, Eclipse, or IntelliJ or any kind of these kind of IDEs, then it's not necessary for you to set the path. But we have not downloaded any of the IDEs. We are not working upon IDEs. So as we are working upon the command prompt, we are planning to execute the code with the help of command prompt. That's the reason we need to set the path. So we'll try to understand what is the purpose of setting the path in the further session or further part. But now let's understand how do we set the path. So I'm opening command prompt, Windows R. So as we have seen yesterday, when we type Java, we have seen some description being displayed on the console. Now I'm typing Java C. That means your program is suitable for compiling. So now let's check with writing a code. So whenever you're writing any Java program, you need to write within a class block. So the syntax for creating a class, is class followed by class name and followed by class block. Whatever the Java code that you're writing, you are supposed to write within a class block or interface block or enum block. So whenever you are writing any Java code, any Java piece of code, it has to be either written in a class block or interface block or any enum block. So right now we'll be talking about the class block. So this is a syntax for creating class. Whenever you want to create a class, whenever you want to write a Java code, you have to create a class first and write the code inside the class block only. You are not allowed to write the code outside the class block. So this is the syntax for creating a class block. So now let's create a class. So class is a keyword which is used for creating a class, and class name, always the class name should start with an uppercase. Now we are creating a class. Class is a keyword. As class is a keyword, it has to start with a lowercase followed by class name. So class name should start with an uppercase. So I'm writing first program as my class name, then followed by class block. As we know, execution always starts from a main method. So Java program, the execution of Java program also starts from the main method. So the main method will be written in this particular manner: public static void main, and it's a parameterized method. I'm writing main block, method block. So main is a parameterized method which take an array is a parameter. One dimensional array is a parameter. When I'm saying one dimensional array, this is my one dimensional array, and the type of an array is string. The type of an array is string. If you observe here, string, I'm starting with an uppercase. In Java programming language, anything that starts with an uppercase is a class. So string is also a class as because it's starting with an uppercase. So this is how the basic template of Java programming is: class followed by the class block. Any code that we are writing, that has to be written inside the class block only. So public is a keyword, static is a keyword, void is a return type, and keyword main is the name of the method. And main method is a parameterized method, which is taking a one dimensional array as a parameter of type string. So if I just wanted to print anything on the console, I use a method called println, which has to be called with the help of system.out. And I'm printing first semicolon. So do not try to get confused by what is public, what is static, what is why we are writing system.out. So we'll understand it in the due course, but I just want you to focus on how we are compiling the code, how we are executing the code. So this is how I'm writing my first code and how I'm creating the class followed by class name. And what are the code we are writing? We are writing inside the class block only. So this is our method block. So this, your class block starts here and your class block ends here. And this part is called as your method block. This block is called as your method block. So now I'm trying to save this file, save as. I'm saving it in D drive. What is my class name? My class name is first program, and also I'm giving my file name as the same name. So make sure you always give your class name and file name same along with the case. So as f is in uppercase, I'm giving it as with the same case sensitive. If I'm writing it as an uppercase and p is also in uppercase, so I'm writing p is also in uppercase. First program dot Java. As we are writing Java program, so it's mandatory for us to save with .java extension. If you are not saving with .java extension, they will be saved as text files. So that is the reason it's mandatory for you to save with .java. So this is my first program .java. And I'm closing this file. Now, if I open my D drive, you can see a file called first program. So this is the Java file. So if you're not saving the .java file, then it will be saved with as text file. In the type, you can see as a text file. So that is the reason it's mandatory for you to save with .java extension. So now I'm trying to compile the code. When you're trying to compile the code, you need to compile it from the command prompt. So I'm just reopening the command. I'm closing it. I'm reopening it from Windows R, CMD. And now, in order to compile the source code, the tool that you use is javac space your file name. What is our file name? First program. Java. So this is raising me some error. I want you all to understand this. So what is the error that is being shown as file not found first program.java, file not found first program.java. Why it is saying file not found first program.java? Because from which location it has been compiled? C users user. So when you are compiling the particular file from this location, your compiler will search only in this location. Did I save my file in this location? No, that is the reason we are saying that file not found. In which location we have saved it? We have saved it in D drive. So I need to move from C drive to D drive. In order to that, I'm just typing D colon enter. Now I have present in D drive. Now I'm just typing the same case again, javac first program.java. Now you can see the program has been successfully compiled. If you're getting some errors, the errors will be displayed here. If there are no errors displayed, that means the program has been successfully compiled. Now I'm trying to execute it. Java space first. So this is my output. This is my output. So this is how I compile the source code and how I execute the code. So what is the syntax for compiling the code and what is the syntax for executing the code is? Let's talk about the syntax for compilation and execution. Syntax for compiling the code. JavaC is the tool that you use for compiling the code. JavaC followed by file name dot java and syntax for executing the code is Java space class name. So why we are compiling the file name, but what are the code that we are writing here, that is your source code. So we compile only our source code and we are executing the class. So for the first program, what we have written, how we are compiling it, Java C space, what is our file name, first program dot Java. This is how we compile this is how we have compiled our code. And how we have executed, the tool we have used is Java. And what is the class name? The class name is first program. This is how we have executed. So this is the syntax for compiling your source code. And this is the syntax for executing your class. Now, as I have not set the path because the path is already set in my mission, but if you're not set the path, you'll get an error saying that Java C is not recognized as internal or external command. It will not allow you to compile the source code without setting the path. So if you want to set the path, how do you set the path is this PC. Once you click on this PC, you will find something called properties. Click on properties. Then here you'll find advanced system settings. Click on advanced system settings. And at the bottom, you'll find environmental variables. Click on environmental variables. In environmental variables, you will find user variables and system variables. User variables and system variables. So do not touch the system variables. Just under user variables, you just click on new. Click on new. Once you click on new, you will find other two columns, variable name and variable value. In variable name, you give path. In variable value, you have to specify the location where you have installed Java on your machine. Where we have installed Java on your machine? We have installed Java in C drive. In C drive, we have installed in program files. In program files, we have installed in Java. So as we have multiple versions, what is the latest version that I have installed? JDK and select bin. This and click on OK. So till this we have to paste here, or your variable value should be the location of the bin of your respective installed version and click on OK, OK, and OK, and close this. This is how you need to set the path. So without setting the path, if you're working for the first time on your mission, if you're installing Java on your for the first time on your mission, it's mandatory for you to set the path. Why? Because the tools what we are accessing here, Java C and Java, they are not the tools of the command prompt. So we have to tell the command prompt that from which location we are accessing the tools. That is the reason we are setting the path. So we are telling the command prompt that we are accessing the tools of Java C and Java from the specified location. So once again, I'll repeat how to set the path. Just type this PC, click on properties, advanced system settings, environmental variables. So I'm deleting it by, so now assume that there is no path. Click on new, variable name should be path, and variable value should be the location of the bin. We have installed in C drive. So C drive, program files. In program files, we'll have a folder called Java. In Java, what is the version that I've installed? 16. You can see something called bin. Select that bin, click on OK. Then click on OK, OK, and OK. Assume that you have to download, assume that if you have downloaded Java 8, C drive, program files. So the location will be seen Java, and you can see something called JDK 1.8 and JRE 1.8. That is the difference between the older versions and newer versions. In older versions, that is Java 8, 7, 6, 5, you'll have two separate things. One is JDK and next one is JRE. JDK stands for Java Development Kit and JRE stands for Java Runtime Environment. But in the latest versions, these two are combined together and only one folder is given, that is JDK. You will not find any folder called JRE for the 16th version and 12th version and 11th version. You will find all of these two folders are merged together and only one folder is provided. So if you have downloaded JDK 8, then click on this JDK 8 and you'll have bin, select that bin and click on OK. So this is the location where you have bin is the location. Why we are only typing the bin? Because this is the location, bin is the location where we have all the tools which are used for developing the Java application. So I'll just show you even the bin folder. C drive, program files, Java. So this is the particular path, bin. So if you can see here, you will find the tools for Java C. This is the tool for compiling the source code. And you also have another tool called Java. And this is the tool for executing the source code. Java C is for compiling the source code and Java is for executing the code. So that is the reason we are specifying this particular path till bin in the class path. So this is how we set the path, and I hope you also understood the reason why we are setting the paths, as because we are accessing these tools from the command prompt. We are telling the command prompt that these tools need to be accessed or called from this particular location. So what are the points that we have discussed today? First one, how do you write the basic template of Java programming language? The syntax for creating a class, how do you compile the source code, how do you execute the source code, and how do you set the path. So thank you all. That's all from today's session. So see you all in the next session. Thank you.